Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that I'm about to show you right now is the insane amount of damage that Biden and this coup de grace that's happening in the White House, yeah, this is doing so much damage to the Democrats that you have an unprecedented opportunity to put people in the right places to push our gun rights forward. And this has not happened in decades. Everything that I'm about to show you is linked in the description box below. We're about to dive into a New York Times article, which is sounding the very alarm that I'm describing. And this is going to be one you're going to love. So make sure you send this one out. Rally everyone that you can to this. Make sure this message is received. And of course, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. Because the one thing that we do not want is this guy to interrupt the freedom feed. This YouTube algorithm prowling around like a lion, looking to abscond away with your subscription, making sure that you don't get your 2A prescription of freedom by simply turning off that subscription button by snacking, very similar to Jerry Nadler, the high-waisted fiend. Basically, the alliteration is high-waisted fiend to snacks is what the algorithm is to your subscription. So just check that bad boy, because no one wants to be left in the dark and victimized by that guy. But with that said, let's get into this. I have got to show you something coming out of the New York Times. People, this is an opportunity that you have not had in decades. I cannot make it more simple than that. This is huge, and all you have to do is get up, activate, and vote, and tell your friends and family to vote. Check this out. Biden's fate hangs over Baldwin and Democrats in Congress as voters question his fitness. Voters are deeply skeptical about President Biden's prospects, posing challenges for Senator Tammy Baldwin in Wisconsin and other Democrats once thought to be relatively safe in their seats. This article came out, I'm going to show you, came out July 21st. That is today. So as we go forward with this, understand the margins of people that we're talking about in these swing states is 10,000 people, 20,000 people. If this video that you're watching does, on average, 1/3 to 1/6 of the people who watch this video will determine this election. It's that narrow a margin. And you have the ability to just take everything that they've done to your gun rights and everything you've been frustrated with in the last 4, 10, 20 years and poke them right in the eye. It's right there. Let's keep going. Let me show you this. This is the fact that they're saying this in the New York Times is huge, and what they're focusing on is something in Wisconsin. This is a Senate race. Check this out. This is around Senator Tammy Baldwin, a Wisconsin Democrat seeking re-election. Again, this is the Senate. A soft-spoken two-term senator who has carved out a reputation for cross-party appeal, Miss Baldwin easily cruised to victory in 2018, and her race this year was never expected to be ultra-competitive, even in this crucial swing state. But rising concerns around Mr. Biden's age and fitness to run have introduced new risks for Democratic candidates like Miss Baldwin just 100 days out from Election Day, imperiling even seats that were once considered relatively safe for the party. Okay, one more thing and then we'll hit on that. That has left Democrats already anxious about losing the White House to former President Donald J. Trump, contemplating the prospect of widespread losses in Congress that could leave the party locked out of power altogether during a Trump presidency and well beyond. One of the mainstays on this channel, I'm going to show you some shirts. One of the things about this channel is genuinely, it's one thing to tell you what's going on. It's one thing to bring your attention to something. It's another thing to take that and use it as action to fix the problem. If you don't partner the issue and the observation with an action, you're not doing anything to move it forward. That's been a mainstay on this channel forever. The Democrats are telling you in the New York Times right now that they are worried about the freaking swing states and safe seats because Biden is dragging it down through his hubris. He ain't leaving? Okay, that's fine. Democrats are having this issue, which opens the door for you to put people in to push our rights forward. This is a really huge opportunity. And I've got a couple more of these things, but it all goes to the same thing. Listen to some of this language. It comes as Democrats have received polling suggesting that voters distrust elected officials who vouch for Mr. Biden's mental capacity and endorse his candidacy. Do you understand who that also includes? Every single incumbent Democrat, every single one in the Senate, every single one in the House, and finally, Kamala Harris. Democrats have a brand problem because every single one of them told you that Biden's mental acuity was fine. There's no issues. The reality is a little different. It's a stark contrast to them lying to you. The Democrats are getting polling suggesting that anyone who touched Biden is now a problem. It's not just Biden anymore. Now it's the fact that you lied to me about Biden. The opportunity that you have here is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Please, for the love of every gun that you hold dear, do not miss this opportunity. Anyway, here we go. Let's keep going. Let's hear to the actual candidate. In an interview, Mrs. Baldwin declined to do either vouch for Mr. Biden or call him to step aside. Okay. If you are in a swing state and you are running as a senator and you have a cross-party appeal and you sense weakness and you have this polling, you're reaffirming it by neither saying step down or that you can win. She's not endorsing or she's not getting rid of. You understand this is a sitting Democratic senator in a seat that has a margin of victory by about 10,000 votes. Guys, this is so telling. But let's continue. I got a few more things for you. I've highlighted all of these things. It's a really good article if you want to read it. It's linked. But look at this. This is also in the representative district area. Representative Mark Pocan, a Wisconsin Democrat who on Friday called on Mr. Biden to step aside, said in an interview that he based his decision in part on concerns the president would imperil other Democrats in states that have been considered safe, including Wisconsin, Virginia, and Minnesota. Now, why that's so important? Virginia and Minnesota are deep blue bastions. Biden took Virginia by 10 points. Minnesota has always been deep blue. If you are experiencing weakness in the deepest of blue areas, extrapolate that out to the swing states. I've been saying it since this thing happened. If you extrapolate that concern and that weakness that they're saying in deep blue states out to purple states, this is about to be a thing. And if you activate and take your opportunity to kick them in the political balls, you have such amazing chances. But anyway, let's continue. Let's hear. We got more quotes. Quote, I've talked to members who've polled and they're going down when the president goes down in polling. It's not fair, but it's a perception that's becoming a reality. Well, life's not fair, Cupcake. You lied to everybody about it forever. If there's less, and this is the payoff, if there's less turnout in Wisconsin, where Mr. Biden won in 2020 by roughly 20,000 votes, that could be enough to cost Mrs. Baldwin her seat and Democrats their chance of beating Representative Derek Van Orden, a Wisconsin Republican. And that's why I'm paying extra attention. They could not only lose Wisconsin, they could lose the Wisconsin Senate seat, which would be a pickup for the Republicans, and the representative seats, because they are seeing polling that is saying not only anybody who helps Biden is getting a bump downward or a fall downward, but also anybody who vouched for him is getting a bump downward. 20,000 votes. Again, 1/3 of the people who will watch this video, most likely, will change this. That's how significant this is. But let's continue, because I want to really reinforce how important you guys are. I got a couple more things that are highlighted at the end here. This is the very end of the article. For Miss Baldwin, who has worked to appeal to independents and Republicans, independents are falling off of a cliff for Biden, and Democrats themselves are falling off of a cliff for Biden, Mr. Biden's sagging appeal and its potential to sour voters on incumbent associated with him could be a serious threat to her re-election chances. Quote, when I look back at 2018, I had a lot of crossover voters, Miss Baldwin said of her last campaign. But in a state like Wisconsin, she added, we haven't seen that happening recently. Now I'm going to tie all this together with a big bright bow. They are telling you that anybody who is associated with Biden is getting a dramatic falling off in the polls. All the swing states are falling off in the polls. They're also getting polling that says anybody who vouched for Biden is a liar, and they are also experiencing a falling in the polls. That includes Kamala Harris and the entire administration and all sitting Democrats, Senate and House. The table has never been set better for you to quite literally demolish them emotionally and push your gun rights forward at a pace that you have not seen in forever, not only for this generation, but for the next, which circles back to the whole point of this channel. It's all about passing our rights on to the next generation. You have a chance. It's in your grasp. Take it. The margin is only 20,000 votes. In a nation of 330 million adults, that's a pretty big freaking deal and a great opportunity for you, and that's what I've got for you. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.